I'm here in Taupo, right on the Waikato River. I find whenever I travel, preconceived ideas can actually do you quite a bit of harm. That's why it's always best to wait till you get there, do the scouting, do the walking, looking around, and that's where you can find some gold. I really do love this scene, so let's see what I can do. The main thing I wanted to focus on today was perspective. It's a tricky one for many people to get, and a lot of it has to do with the placement of the horizon line, because everything will go diminishing to that line. But if you haven't heard, I host an online course on Patreon where we release 4 exclusive videos for our members every month, and you can sign up at the link in the top right hand corner. Anyway, back to the painting. So let's just break it down to rectangles, triangles. That's always a good way to think of it as shapes. And another good little trick actually that I kind of stumbled on, if you have a reference photo, or even if you have the photo on your smartphone, you can actually put the phone in, once you've kind of drawn it in thinking, oh yep, I think that's pretty close, you put the phone right in front of the shape and line it up, and then take it away, and you can check, you can even hold the brush on the top apex of, say, with this building, or one of the gutter lines, or even the nice dark shadow on the ground. You can double check to make sure you've got it right. And my ultimate rule is, if it looks right, then it is right. Because sometimes I will change a pitch on a roof, especially if you're down low looking up at a fairly tall building. This is kind of the opposite opposite. But so this isn't a concern. It's almost like the train line effect with this one, where by the time I looked in the distance or placed that point in the distance, all these lines would lead straight to that pinpoint area, very similar to how a train line appears. So we've got some nice darks in the background, mostly ultra blue, little bit of alizarin, tiny little bit of green. It was a super technically busy, difficult distance. And we kind of always sort of think of perspective just on the buildings, but there is perspective in trees, in every shape that we paint. So there's a mountain range in the background, and that will really sort of force the perspective on the viewer, because most times we know that a mountain probably is about 1,000 meters or 600 meters, which is about 1,800 feet to 2,000 feet. So we know that sheer mass and size up against trees, and then the water or whatever shape is there. So it's not always just the lines that we draw on a building. There's a number of elements that really sort of come to play. And I'm just up above this scene, so I'm aiming to just get that little ridge, just that I'm working on there. It's just above, so it'll cut off a third of the bottom of the building, and that will really increase the illusion that I'm aiming to get. So now we can get into that sky that's mostly sort of titanium white, a little bit of yellow ochre, tiny little bit of blue in there as well for the light area on the cloud, and now for the blue sky that's mostly ultra blue with a little bit of white. But you can see how that shape, even those lines, are helping to push the eye back into the middle as well. And it was a pretty marvellous sky with this one, and when I was sort of saying it's already a technically difficult one, so I have simplified the sky quite a bit as well. Once again, more to work as a backdrop. So we've closed out that area in the mid-distance, so now it's great to be able to just start to put some of those finer details in, because when we think on the mountain in the background there is trees and foliage, but of course the atmosphere has made it more blue. But you can see in that mid-distance I've got a range of a variation of colour, but also it's unified nicely as well. So we're just putting in a few little trunks and trees and branches, and sometimes it's very easy to overdo this. So that's why I prefer to try putting in a tree or a branch and then find that, oh, you know what, I've got a few too many, because normally wet in wet, they're very easy to take out. So once again, we're using the size of this tree up against trees that are about the same size across the water, but they're going to be bigger in the foreground. And that's how we get that illusion of depth, because that's really what the perspective does. It gives us the illusion that something is closer or further away. Just got to watch I don't get too many little streaky, stripy little brush marks there. But it's definitely warmer, brighter. And there was quite a few little ducks down by the water, and I was tempted to sort of put some in, but they would have been too small. So I thought it can just look like a farm shed. So I thought just a suggestion of a few little sheep on that mid-distance on the right there, and a few flowers in the foreground would sort of finish it off nicely for that foreground. Part of this shadow is actually from the power pole that's actually just up behind us. But once again, we don't want that leading line too strong, or it'll run the eye over the grass, drop down, and then want to zip through. So I'm needing to break it, needing to soften some of the edges off. And we can just check to make sure that I've sort of got the value on the building as well, because even though it's bigger, because it is closer, if we still don't get the value right, it won't look like sunlight's on it. So that's the ultimate in the end result, no matter how good we've got the perspective, I feel. So just bringing in some of those little touches just to make the area sort of appear as if there's little tufts of grass and a few little changes in the foliage and in the grassed area. So just put a few little accents in, and a lot of times these are partly for scale, partly to allow the viewer to know, okay, if it was a figure or a duck, we would know their physical size in relation to the little building. And the little landing on the right hand side is kind of important as well, because there's a nice little shadow on there as well. And it probably doesn't hurt to even have a little mirror or even a dark smartphone to see it in reverse, because that's when you'll really pick up perspective troubles, because it's sometimes a little too late to change things once you've got this far.